Good afternoon, everybody. It's me, Bullet. So here's an update on my job situation. And for those of y'all that don't know what I'm talking about, just go check out my earlier podcast called My Job and listen to that, and you'll get caught up. But here's the update so far. So I was able to get reinstated back to my duties. And once I got reinstated, I was also given back pay for my unpaid leave that I was put on. And I was able to get transferred like I was wanting. So everything worked out good. I'm happy about that. I'm going back to work. And of course, as previously stated, I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to say where I was working. None of that's relevant to the situation. But anyway, I'm going back to work. Now, the other side of that is yeah, I'm glad I'm going back to work. I need to go back to work because the government won't give me my disability. But it's also going to be kind of sad too, because I'd gotten used to staying at home with my fur babies and taking care of them and taking care of the house and, doing stuff like that. And I'm going to kind of miss being at home with them because I kind of enjoyed being at home with my fur babies. But hey, it is what it is. I'm going back to work. At least I'm earning a paycheck. And I'm not going back into private security. I'm not saying anything bad about private security. It's just not for me. I'm not a private security guard. I thought I was. I thought I wanted to be, but it's not for me. It's just, to each their own. Some people like it, and I'm glad. We need to have security officers. I'm glad people like doing that job. More power to them. Not everybody can be a corrections officer. Not everybody can be a detention officer. Not everybody can be a cop, so I'm not saying I'm a cop. I'm just saying, not everybody can do every job. And, for those that enjoy doing private security, more power to you. I'm glad you're there. Congratulations. Now, outside of that update to my job, saw this on TikTok, and I hadn't heard about it until I saw it on TikTok this morning. Illinois has lost its damn mind. The Illinois Supreme Court has declared that the end of cash bail is constitutional. Beginning on September 18, 2023, Illinois courts no longer use a cash bail system. Instead, they use a pretrial release system as allowed by the SAFE-T Act. That's SAFE-T Act. I'm assuming there's something relevant about that. I don't know why they named it that. And I haven't put that much research into why they named it, because to me it's ridiculous. It ought to be called the You Are Ridiculous Act. What pretrial release is, and I don't understand this, but then again, I work in Texas, so pretrial release is an alternative to the traditional cash bail system. Under the pretrial release system, you may be released while you wait for your trial without needing to arrange for cash bail. So basically, we're just going to let them loose. It'd be kind of like the PR bond, like we do here. We do a PR bond up there. They do a cashless pretrial release. If you're arrested, you'll have the opportunity to appear before a judge. The judge will then decide if you are eligible to go on pretrial release, which that's all fine and dandy. But here's some other caveats to it. The SAFE-T Act does not require the immediate release for people accused of specific felonies and misdemeanors. However, people who are in jail can ask to have the new pretrial release system applied to their situation. And they give a list of it. Lowest level of offense, that's petty shoplifting, stuff like that. You'll get a hearing within 7 days of request. If you are detained and considered a flight risk, you'll get a hearing within 60 days, and those that are a potential threat to safety will get a hearing within 90 days. The judges will have the option to release individuals if they find that the defendants do not pose an active threat to the community or to another individual. Then you scroll down a little bit further, and I'm reading this all on the IllinoisLegalAid.org website. So I went straight to the Illinois. It's not a this is it's part of the Illinois system. If you're stopped by the police for a Class B misdemeanor or a Class C misdemeanor, or a petty and business offense, you may get a citation instead of being arrested. So they don't actually have to arrest, they can just give you a ticket. The officer has the discretion to arrest you if they determine, either mistakenly or not, I don't know why they put that in there, but whatever, that you pose a threat to the community, pose a threat to another person, and have a medical or mental health issue that poses a risk to their own safety. So so they can arrest you if you meet all of them. If you're stopped by a police officer and issued a citation to appear at a hearing, you might be detained at that hearing. A judge can order that you be detained if they determine that you pose a specific, real, and present threat to a person, or that you are likely to flee. The determination will vary based on the judge and the county. And here's a list of the crimes that lead to a citation. Class B and Class C misdemeanors, petty and business offenses, telephone harassment, aggravating speeding, which is 31 miles per hour over the posted speed limit, obstruction of service of process, littering, disorderly conduct, failing to wear a seatbelt, and assault. Now, to me, I think assault should be, I don't know, maybe moved to that you get arrested for. Like, are you serious? And then here are the crimes that lead to an arrest. First and second degree murder, thank God. Predatory criminal sexual assault of a child. Aggravated criminal sexual assault and criminal sexual assault. Robbery and burglary, where this is use of force against another person. Okay. Residential burglary, home invasion, vehicular invasion. Offenses that require jail or prison time if charged without probation, a hate crime, animal torture. I'm glad they put that under you must be arrested. DUI causing great bodily harm. But yet up here at the top, we still have assault as a Class B or Class C misdemeanor. See, is it true that someone who is trespassing will not be arrested? Well, that depends. The suspect poses a threat to the community or any person. Suspect has an obvious mental or medical issue that poses a risk to their safety, or the criminal activity continues even after the police issue a citation. So basically, those are what you can and cannot get arrested for. It goes on to say, if a police officer gives you a citation, you need to pay attention to your scheduled court day. Your court day will likely be within 21 days of getting the citation. It is very important that you show up on your scheduled court day to attend your hearing. You will need to go to your pretrial hearing in person. You will need to make arrangements so that you show up to your hearing in person. The court may make an exception for you to show up by video, but only if your physical health and safety would be in danger by showing up in person. Please plan to show up in person unless you get a health and safety exception from the court. Even if you are not arrested, you still have a right to be represented by a lawyer in the pretrial hearing. You can hire a lawyer, or if you cannot afford a lawyer, a public defender can be appointed to you. That's pretty good. And let's see. At your hearing, the judge will determine whether you pose a specific threat on a case-by-case basis, considering the nature of the offense, your age, physical condition, and history, the identity of the persons that were threatened, what you said, age and physical condition of victim or complaining witnesses, whether you had access to a weapon or were on probation, and any other factors that the court chooses to include. They can even go as far as putting on you an electronic monitoring, GPS monitoring, or home confinement. So it's not really all that bad, I guess, because we do something similar to that here in Texas. You know, we have our PR bonds, and on the PR bond, it's basically the same deal. But the whole, I don't know, just the way Illinois is going, like in Chicago, you know, that place over in Chicago is off the chain. I don't know what's going on over there, but they need to get a handle on that place. That is out of control. See, if the defendant is charged with any of the following, the pretrial release can be denied: stalking or aggravated stalking, domestic battery or aggravated domestic battery, sex offense, including public indecency, adultery, that one, okay, fornication, and bigamy. So I get in Illinois, you go to jail for adultery. I'm gonna have to look that up here in a second. Let me finish this. We're gonna look that up and see what it says about that. That just kills me. That's an old law. However, before being actually charged, they will not be detained unless the responding officer believes they pose a threat to the community, to another person, has medical and mental conditions. So I guess it's really not that bad. Like I said, we do the exact same thing almost. We're not as lenient as Illinois. But, you know, we don't we have like our PR bond. So I guess this is going to be the same thing. It's just some of the stuff that they are talking about, in some of our instances, we're not going to let someone out on PR bond if they're just a piece of crap. They can get a bond, but it's not going to be just, oh, here you go. All right. Can you get arrested in Illinois? Almost forgot how to spell Illinois. For adultery. I'll be damned. In Illinois, adultery is technically a misdemeanor offense, but prosecutors have little interest in pursuing this matter. Since 2016, Illinois has been a no-fault divorce state. This means that irreconcilable differences are the grounds for divorce recognized in the case of adultery. Can you go to jail for adultery in Illinois? Adultery remains a Class A misdemeanor that can land you a fine of up to $2,500 and up to a year in jail. But in reality, even though the law is still around, it is rarely enforced. The last time it was enforced was in 1997 in a case where the prosecutors were baffled to see it actually used. Huh. Well, like, really? If they're going to enforce it, though, they have to lock up probably have to lock up half the state and most everybody in the government up there. But it's just some of the weirdest thing. I never knew that. I wonder what it says in Texas. Because I don't even think we still have that on our books in Texas. Okay, and I was right. In Texas, adultery is not illegal. However, Texas courts consider marital misconduct during a divorce proceeding. Infidelity could factor in how the community estate is divided. The spurned spouse will likely raise fault grounds for divorce, including adultery, to win a more significant portion of the community estate. In other words, if you make your wife mad and you're going to divorce, and it's for adultery, she's gonna rake you over the coals, or vice versa. Let's not be that person. It can go both ways. So that's pretty interesting. But anyway, I just wanted to pass that on about the whole Illinois thing, because that just blew my mind whenever I heard that. And I'll leave a link to where I read all this. Like I said, it's illegal. Illinois Legal Aid Online. So I'll leave a link to it, and you can go in, you can read it yourself for everything. I didn't read all of it to you, TLDR. I'm not going to sit here and read it word for word. But it was just something that I saw it come up, and I was like, wow, are you kidding me? The part that still just gets me is, pose a threat to the community. However, the officer has the discretion to arrest you if they determine, either mistakenly or not, that you pose a threat to the community, pose a threat to another person, or have a medical and mental issue. Then you go up here, and the Class B and Class C, one of them is assault. So I would think that would be moved down, because that, assault, that's, you pose a threat to another person. But that's just me. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it, and the fact that I just don't like Illinois. Illinois is crazy. I wouldn't go up there to that state. You couldn't pay me to live in that state. Well, you couldn't pay me to live up north. I'm never leaving the state of Texas. People have got crazy nowadays. I'm just going to stay right here in Texas, where I have my own little Texas laws, and I know I can take care of myself, and I can protect myself down here. But anyway, I wanted to give everybody an update, let everybody know what was going on in my job. I also wanted to pass on what I heard about, the whole thing about Illinois. I just thought it was interesting, and thought, some people, that the 2 or 3 people that actually listen to my podcast might find interesting. But anyway, I'm going to get off here. I've got to get stuff ready for work tomorrow and get all my stuff situated so I can get up at 4 in the morning so I can go to work. 4 in the morning is going to come awfully early. It just makes me sick to my stomach. But anyway, y'all have fun out there. Y'all be safe. And for the love of God, y'all be careful out there. Y'all take it easy.